what's up YouTube? We are back out in the shop today, and today we are working on the sliders on my buggy. I've already removed the old ones and put them in the trash bin. They were actually under quite a bit of tension when I cut them off. They made some quite satisfying bangs and booms, kind of like jack-in-the-box stuff. And now we're rebuilding the new ones. And as I mentioned before, I'm going to be using 1.5 inch DOM, and I'm going to sleeve that over some, what is that, 1 1/8" aluminum. And that's just going to help with keeping the steel from deforming. And it's a little bit lighter than using quarter wall, that kind of thing. And it's a little bit less expensive. So I'll show you here real quick, get you set up. But I've chamfered the ends. I don't know, it's kind of hard to see, but you can see I've got a nice little chamfer on there. Cleaned them. See, it's just sliding in and out. The very first time I did this, and I have not done this a bunch of times. I mean, it's been done plenty, but when I imagined it, this is how I imagined it would go. And then I did my first piece, and I had to hydraulically press it in there. I didn't want to use a hammer because that would deform it. But the only way to get it in there was to press it in with the hydraulic press. Why that one specific piece was like that, I don't know. Maybe it's cleanliness. I've been a lot more careful about being clean with them. Because of the trouble I had on the first one. As I was saying, whether it's cleanliness or what, the last couple pieces have slid in just like I thought they should. Maybe that piece that I first used, maybe it had more stuff on the inside. I don't know. Maybe the weld was a little bit off. It was just indicative of that one single unit. At any rate, this is in there. I've got it inset from both ends. So now we're going to put it in the bender and get it bent up into the shape I need. Basically, I'm putting a 45-degree bend on one end and a little bit less, like a 40-degree on the other, to give it a little bit of a shape, kind of so it flows down the line of the buggy. And then we're going to do some standoffs in between. I'm offsetting it from the edge of the buggy about 3 inches. I'll show you all that once we get into it. Let me get myself set up on the bender, and then we'll bring you back in. All right, we're over here at the bender. We'll get our first bend done. Got everything locked up down there. We're at 0. Going for 45. Slipping. What has happened? Something has gone wrong. Let me back this up and we'll find out what's going on. Found the problem. We've broken. Look at that. All right, so looks like, because I'm trying to keep that out of the weld, the pipe is not able to then start bending. I'm gonna have to grab the aluminum. Is what that looks like to me. Let me get this cut and then we'll put it back in the bender. This time we'll grab the aluminum and we will bend it around as I need. I'll have to deal with the aftermath of the aluminum being in the other spot. All right, so cut, bend. I'll bring you back here when we've got it bent. Attempt number 2. We will see about getting you on here and getting this bent. Oh, listen to her work now. Got the aluminum in there. She's bending it though. 10 degrees. Headed for 15. Now the aluminum, as we know from bending the other stuff, is going to have a lot more spring back. So I'll have to go beyond 45. Last time, if I remember correctly, it was 8 degrees or so. So we'll have to go up to like 53 to get back to 45. Coming up on 40. 45. Coming up on 50, she's getting it. 53. So this will go just like that. Straight line. Gives me 3 inches or so in between them. So now I just need to set up, measure down. So let me get this laid out. I'll bend it up and then I'll show you the finished product, okay? All right, through the magic of television, YouTube, we have 2 of them. And they are actually almost exactly the same. All right, so what I need to do now, I need to create the standoffs. The tube that goes from here to the here. I'm gonna do 3 per, so I need to make 6 of them. They're very straightforward. They are straight pieces with a notch in both ends using my notcher. So at any rate, all I have to do is measure this distance from the flap to the bottom of, this distance, this one. Notch those with that distance in between the notches. Make 6 of them, grind up the ends, and I'm ready to start welding everything together. So let's go do that. Because you guys asked so nicely, and I know you really wanted to see this, I'm going to show you how I make one of these. They're real straightforward. I'm just seriously simple. So I know that my distance from the tubing to from the outside edge of my bottom tube on the buggy to the inside edge of my slider is 2.5 inches. And I know from experience that I need a 1/2 inch for each one of my notches. That's what it takes. So what I need to do then is cut tubing that is 1 inch longer or a little bit over than what I need. So if I need 2.5 and I need 1 inch, so that I need to be about 3.5. Currently, it looks like we are a little more than that. Slide it back. Now it looks like it's going to be right at 3.5. Then what I've done, I've taken a piece of angle, in this case just a piece of aluminum. Just do a line right down the edge. That gives me a center line to work from. Then I mark out where my notches are going to be, and this just lets me keep everything from twisting and being slightly off. And I've got 6 of them. I've got 1 more sitting over there that I'll have to get to. But then I take them over to here. Okay, right here you can see there's a V. And if I take that white line and I line it up with the top edge of the V like that, that lets me keep everything on the same plane, okay? And then it's just a matter of running this forward until the edge of my saw is going to line up with my 1/2 inch mark. It's kind of hard to see the V. You got to get, I'm going to block your view for a minute. All right. Start her up. A little cutting oil. That's 1 notch. We just flip it around. Line my white line back up with my V. Now 2.5 inches, this is about as short as I can go. I go much shorter and it just won't grab it. Tighten it down. But at any rate, there we go. I'll just clean up the edges of that and she should be good to put on the machine. Now I probably will have to adjust one of these with the grinder because I got 1 3/4 tube on there. I'm cutting with an 1.5" die, but not a big deal. I just open it up a little bit with the grinder and she'd be good to go. We're done. It's welded in and I think they look pretty good. They actually both look even. Kind of hard to see, but you can see down the line. All right, a little bit closer view. Overall, I'm pretty pleased. I just got to clean them all up, paint them, which is the part I don't like, but we'll get it done. After that, there's a couple more things to be done on the buggy to get it ready. We got to do a bolt check, and I got to take a look at one of the drive shafts. I think it got bent. So if that is the case, then I'll have to take it, cut it apart, straighten it, that kind of stuff. But that's going to conclude this week's video. As always, if you made it this far, I appreciate it. Thank you. And like, subscribe, tell somebody about it. Twist their arm into liking and subscribing. I can use all the help I can get. Without subscribers, it ends up being a moot point. Doesn't matter what I put out. But again, thank you for watching. Have a good one. We'll talk to you soon.